Today we have the S10 up on the lift. We're going to look at replacing the current lowering kit, which is 3-inch and jacked up. I've got a 2-inch here. I may use the 3-inch block, I don't know, but I needed new shackles. The shackles that are on there are thin junk and the blocks are jacked up. I think they're actually installed in the incorrect direction. But we got that, we got new shocks and a new center support or carrier bearing for that drive shaft. Hopefully we can take all the clunk noise out of this vehicle and maybe I can get to drive it. Let's see. All right, so you saw me time-lapse fight through getting this drum off. Well, that wasn't part of the original plan, but when I got the back up in the air, this is the first time I've had it up in the air, I think I've got some bearings going out in this rear end, and that may be part of the noise. This was crusty. That was difficult to remove. It took a lot of hammer, penetrating fluid, and fire. Finally got her loose, and I can see that I need to redo all that crap too. We'll see. We may just, I don't know. We'll see. Can you look back in here and see how that pinion is pointed up? It's not good because then the drive shaft dives a little bit, then it dives down into the support bearing. So the rear end is at a weird angle and that needs fixed. The pinion angle is really off. So that's really what I'm trying to work on here, but in the process of doing that, because this is a new vehicle to us, and I bought it about a year ago, almost a year ago. Well, not quite, but anyway, it's the first time I've had it up in the air. It's been sitting out in the parking lot, and I need to see what all needs done to get her fixed. And I knew it needed shocks. That was obvious. I knew the pinion angle is off. So I went ahead and bought the other block kit, or lowering kit, I guess. And I'm going to have to most likely cut these puppies off, which I've done that in the past. It's easy because I don't have enough room down here to get my impact up here and on the nut. Maybe I can cut these off and do it with a short socket. We may try that. But for now, that's where it is. So let's just keep going and see where we can get. I didn't really want to get all into this, but I don't know. We've got some issues in here. But first is let's get this pinion angle set, get this rear end set properly in here, and the new shocks on it, and go from there. Shock one done. All right, so we've got to take these two 13mm crusty bolts out and then come down here and pop off this. I think it's a 19mm. I already did the other side. Actually went pretty easy. If I use this swivel setup 13 I've got, that worked pretty good. Otherwise you can't get a straight socket hardly up in on this one. It's too close to the shock body. But I'll put you down here on the stand while I do this one. All right, I just got some cheap $50 shots off Amazon for this for now. That'll be fine. I always compress them take them and compress them 4 or 5 times, because they've been shipped like that, bound up, and you'll feel the difference in it. So while that's coming up there, let's take this one off. Throw that in the junk pile. Compress this one a little bit, stick the bottom in. Not with my glove in there. And then let her ride up into the top. And that's it. That's how easy it is to install shocks on one of these 90 model S10s and most others. All right, so now we're going to pop the back drive shaft loose so we can work on getting that center support bearing out of there. I am just going to, I think, strap it up so it doesn't fall down, even though it's going to sit kind of on the jack back here. So you got 4 bolts up here that are 5/8. I'll try to break them free with the ratchet before I decide if I got to get the impact on it and let it eat. You know, something I didn't do yet that I need to go do is mark it, so I put it back in the same spot. After I get this bolt out, I will go do that. Alright, I can't find a can of brake clean. It's probably in the other shop. I used it, a lot of it, the other day. So we're just going to make a mark with my paint marker. So this goes back in the same location. So I don't honestly know how that separates, but we're going to tap on it with a hammer. So I don't know if it's just those 4 bolts. Because I haven't done one of these. Yeah, it looks like that's all it is those 4 bolts. It doesn't go into the yoke in or anything. So I wonder if I need to go ahead and pull that, loosen that carrier. Probably. Let me see what size those bolts are, and we'll set up over there. All right, I'm set up over here on this carrier. You got an 18 millimeter at the top, and the bottom is 5/8, but I don't know. Probably not, but that's what fit best. Stuff. Yeah, and the 18 doesn't fit over here. This is popped up. Different bolts. They've done something stupid here. Probably should try and correct it, but I don't have other bolts, but we'll see. What do we got here? Whatever's in my hand is kind of going on. And that worked. Supposed to get a delivery today for another one of those center support stands. Could probably use that for this, but it's not here yet. Whoa, shit. That MFer is under a lot of tension. Holy shit. That is how bad off that rear end is offset. Damn. I'm gonna have to show you this. All right, because this rear end is way off. Look what happened as soon as I kicked that. It did shoot loose, popped into the gas tank. So look at that pinion. I mean, right there's the freaking transmission. It just smashed the gas tank. So I got to work on trying to get these loose. And that's not going to be fun either. I think I can maybe get these two inners, but the outers I'll probably have to cut, because this whole rear end needs to pivot this way. I mean, look how bad it is on the blocks. That's a big gap. And look, it's been wearing into the block back here. So I bought replacements, but I bought 2-inch drop. These are 3. I'm hoping that the 2-inch will help with that pinion angle some too, but this is just fucked. All right, well, I'm gonna see if I can pull that drive shaft out of there safely. I've never seen such a thing, and I was doing this on time lapse. It would have been good to catch. This thing just blew the shit apart. Stuff went flying out of it. I ain't never seen that happen. Have you? I don't know. That was my father-in-law's. I'm gonna go get mine now. Hopefully I don't have the same issue. All right, we got one side done. Had to cut these 2 times just to make the socket work. But I did leave them down just in case I want to go to a 3-inch block again. But there's a 2-inch block, snugged up, new hardware, new shock, still lots of rust. I will not bore you with the other side. But it sits nice, the pinion angle, much nicer. Now it's more pointing, the drive shaft is going to be pointing more at the proper angle versus it was tilted up, I don't know, 1/2 inch. The whole thing was in a bind. But that's where we are for now. Well, that's a wrap on this stage of the build. We're one step closer to getting this thing back on the road. And I'm officially out of zip ties. If you enjoyed the gears and grease today, do me a huge favor and hit that subscribe button down below to help the garage grow. And if you want to see the rest of the build, click down here for the others. Cheers.